because hip hop as a whole has been communicated in such a bad light, sometimes that can be intimidating to try and accept that into the church.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because even me, before I started really getting serious about ministering the gospel through hip hop, a lot of my influence in the secular realm, it just was negative. It's like I didn't hear too much positive in it. So for me, even as an artist, to try and communicate that back, that was a challenge. But I think it is accepted to some extent, but I do think we have a ways to go.
There's room for improvement.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of these, we'll just call them church folk.
So what would you say, let's say technically speaking, or the quality of gospel hip hop, is it on par? Is it better as the secular as their secular counterparts?
What would you think? Let's have a dialogue about that.
He's gonna throw the interview back at me. You see, I told you we don't know what's gonna happen with this dude.
Oh man, I think quality. When I think of quality,
production, lyric-wise, all the elements of it.
Well, we could start with, I can go deep because I'm a business person, but I think that quality-wise, I'm thinking dollar signs.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, a lot of times for certain levels of quality, you have to pay for that.
That's
and
right.
because of an industry that is not recognized, that's low funded, if any funding comes through it, it's hard to get that high level.
To put out the quality when there's no funding.
Right,
okay.
right.
I see where you're going.
And, it's hard to do that. However, I do think when it's hard to produce something quality musically, you can still try and combat that lyrically.
Okay.
If you can flow with me for a minute.
Okay.
Now, just take, for instance, the individual. He says, I have a hard message, and I'm just trying to put this thing together, but my beats or my production team is just not where I need it to be.
Okay.
He can choose to just wait it out and say, I believe God's going to open opportunity, for the funding coming through, or you can take the risk of trying to, put it out anyways.
Okay.
The challenge with taking the risk is that you have 30 other people that take that same risk with you.
Right.
And then the level kind of goes down a little bit, and so then you get labeled as, well, this is just not good altogether. So there's pros and cons to it.
That's some good advice, y'all. For those artists that are home listening, this is some, you got to pay for this kind of advice. He's giving us some real stuff over here.
You got to pay for quality, But for me, I just chose I think as far as what I'm bringing, it's definitely in the middle.
Okay.
It's definitely not. It's definitely qualitative, but it's also financially what I could afford to do.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean it's weak.
Gotcha.
It just means if will say somebody like a Dr. Dre, I couldn't afford a Dr. Dre beat financially. However, I can get close to it, with say a Tony Stone beat. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And still have some of the same components there that are available. So that's where it's at.
Okay, so tell us about some of the projects that you've worked on in the past. People you've collaborated with.
You can definitely find some of these projects on FocusEG.com.
Gotta plug that in. Gotta plug that in.
Yeah, because he got a lot of them. And I don't know how he got them, but they're there. I most recently, I hosted and choreographed a project called Mass Ministry. Okay. Which is really just a collaboration of Massachusetts artists, and really tried to connect with those people who definitely weren't inside the church.
Okay.
Really reach them. So the content and subject matter is as such as though people who didn't, they may not have known the Lord. So we did that. That's most recently. Before that, I put out a little EP called The Beginning, because it was definitely the beginning. And, it was good. Was it as qualitative as I would like it to be? Nah, it didn't. It wasn't. But I took some time off to really hit the booth, hit the prayer room, and really
sort of gather yourself back together.
Because I feel when I was talking about just inspiration, we have the source of inspiration. And if we're saying we have that, then we should seek him for all of our, all of our thoughts, all of our lyrics, and we need to take time to allow him to speak to us.
That's true.
And in doing that, I believe that you'll pump out something that's worthy.
Okay.
So I did that. Singles coming out real soon,
All right.
hopefully this next month. You'll hear it. You'll hear
Definitely
it all over Massachusetts. It's called The Sun Shines, because I believe right now, whether this is my thing. This is my thing, and I know we're wrapping it up. But my thing is this: you don't have to be a believer right now to know that right now times are tight.
That's right.
You don't have to be a believer to know that money's just not what it used to be.
Right.
The housing market is just slumping. We don't know where the country's going. Under this new leadership.
Right.
And everyone is pretty much dumped into the same basket where they're feeling the same way.
That reservoir, that's
true. So you don't have to be a believer to know these things, but what you do have to be a believer to know is that Jesus said these things are going to happen. And he is our antidote and our hope.
That's true.
So when I say that the sun shines, I mean the S-O-N shines.
That's right.
The sun's going to shine through everything that we go through.
That's right.
And I believe that's what the world needs to hear right now.
Okay.
That the sun is going to shine.
Okay.
Through this. The sun shines through me and the sun shines through you.
That's
and if you trust in the sun,
all right.
Why worry about, today?
They have nothing to worry about. Because he's not affected by a stock market or anything like that.
Stock hasn't dropped yet. Go ahead, Aima. Go ahead, preach it.
So I was going to ask this angle of it. A lot of the times, some of the complaints that I hear from some people out there is that a lot of hip hop music is the gospel hip hop is more directed, like the lyrics, it's more directed at the streets, at people who have been through drugs and all those type of things, and people who have not been through that, like from the suburbs and all that, they can't relate to the music. What do you have to say about that?
I think for every artist who's trying to do the gospel hip hop thing, I think you have to take time to understand the gospel.
Okay.
And the gospel's for everyone. I think you limit yourself when you try and just
speak on one particular thing. That's
true.
True.
Because you're setting your own limitations.
Right.
Like I said, if God is the one who gives us these words and he inspires our thoughts, then I have to believe that he's giving you more than that.
Right.
Or you're just making a conscious choice that I just want to meet them. Because in reality, if you've accepted the Lord, that means that you're no longer that person anyways.
True.
So this new man is constantly, coming into play.
That's right.
So with the new man, you should be able to deal with new things.
That's true.
I'm married now, so I'm not really dealing with too much of, what I was doing when I was dating. So you don't hear too much of that in my content. You know what I mean? So as you grow, should your words.
Your message.
You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
And I just think we limit ourselves so much. And that's one thing I am very critical of that the hip hoppers do. Okay. Stop. That's what the world does. That's what secular today. Sex, money, drugs, money. That's right. Sex, money. That's it. So why do we have to do the same thing?
Okay. All right. Some good advice to the artists out there.
I hope y'all get the tape.
I hope y'all taking notes. This is some good advice that you got to pay money for.
Yes.
So director's giving it us for free.
Yeah, but it costs me something. So I hope you appreciate it.
We'll head to Focus Guy, give you some gas money.
You know what I'm saying? You need to put that in, Aima. I'm telling you.
I will take care of that. Don't
Cheeseburger, something.
A dollar menu is always there.
That's it, sister.
All right.
Amazing.
So before we let you go, just tell our viewers where they can catch you out there.
You can catch me right now on myspace.com/I'm direct. There's a
I am direct?
I am the letter M.
Okay.
Direct. You can catch me on Detour Ministry. That's a ministry that we're birthing. God's moving in that. DetourMinistry.com.
Okay.
And from there, we'll build, we'll connect.
All right.
And
so any collaborations with any artists coming up?
Wow. I'm currently working on my full LP. I'm gonna try and get Pastor Rez on there, but he's gonna have to write on that one. I'm all set with his freestyles. So Pastor Rez, you wanna write? Holla at me. You wanna do that freestyle stuff? You can keep it. I'm all set.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming by, for swinging by. We hope you stop by again later on in the season.
Definitely. Look forward to it.
The green room is always open to you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
As always. And next time he's gonna bring the kids. They're just as lively as
yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Pray for me. I'll bring the kids. Hopefully they both
should we be
make
praying
it.
for the kids?
Pray for us all.
All right.
Pick it up.
All right, y'all. You've been watching The Green Room, and I'm your host, Aima. I've been speaking to my brother, Direct. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you.
So we got more coming up in the show. We'll be right back. I'm going to cut to this video. Y'all keep it locked, stay tuned, and all of that good stuff. Be right back.